Ready. Play.
Okay. Marton Fucsovics against Mariano Navone, sorry. It's coming up tomorrow morning, actually, so about less than 12 hours away, I think, depending on the time zones and everything else. I'm just trying to get my head around that. Yeah, I think it should be the first match on centre court tomorrow at the Bucharest Open. And unless you call it, do you call it the Bucharest Open or do you call it the Jan Tiriac Open?
I think it's fair to call it the Tiriac Open. I mean, he's obviously such an influential figure in the world of tennis, for better or worse. So I think, regardless, like a lot of people are just like calling this event, it's the Tiriac Open. Like obviously, Romania, Bucharest is going to be the most well-known city, but it's rare to have an event where like one guy is very directly just like remembered for having this. I remember all the discussions last year, right?
I find Marrakesh more difficult, as in like to switch to the
Grand Prix
Hassan
Hassan.
II.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grand Prix Hassan too.
Grand
I
Prix
think
Hassan. Yeah, actually, I always forget the Grand Prix bit because I'm
no, no.
thinking of
I think
King
this name
or
is also pretty well known, right? But like, yeah, Iron Tiriac Open
there's a
is
lot of
also quite
Hassans.
famous.
There's a lot of Hassans.
Also, it's going to be the second match in center court actually, but the first one
Oh,
is
okay.
doubles.
Thanks. I may fix that afterwards. I may not. Anyway,
No, that's okay.
matches.
That's okay. I mean, it's doubles, so it won't probably last that long.
Okay.
So I think it will be more or less on time.
Fucsovics against Navone. Navone, of course, is the 7th seed. Fucsovics coming through today in 6-3, 6-1 over Luca Nardi. Does the comfort that Fucsovics had there surprise you, or am I underestimating Marton or overestimating Nardi there?
I mean, they played twice recently, and it was during the same event actually in Dubai, where Fucsovics had all that momentum from Manama, defeated Nardi in the qualifying with ease, and then they met in the main draw and he lost, which must have been pretty disappointing. Of course, Luca had a bit of a run there, but that was that half of the draw in Dubai that blew up. Yeah, I guess I was still expecting a win. The comfort level just kind of shows us that, he's ready to, let's say, get that title defense on the road. Gonna have a very difficult opponent in the second round. Obviously, the one that he beat in the final last year. So the story there is fantastic.
Mm,
It's not like Fucsovics is exactly defending the title this week because it's going to be in a few weeks. The Bucharest event was, of course,
okay, yeah.
at a different time. Right now, it's basically substituting for Estoril in this very week of the season. But I don't think it makes a big difference. I mean, either way, in the next few weeks, he's defending like half his ranking, which has to be a little worrying. It's not like he hasn't played great tennis recently, or like at least at times. The aforementioned Manama challenger, that was just such a beatdown over anybody but Vavasori in the final. But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to question like what happens to Fucsovics if he can't start replicating that more than 2 weeks a year. Yeah, I mean the win only really tells me that he might actually have a chance to like keep that title defense going tomorrow.
Navone came through against Laszlo Djere in 3 sets, so a tighter affair for him, the Argentinian, compared to the Hungarian. Their head-to-head, you've obviously mentioned the match they had last year. Actually, just a quick, I digress, just a quick digression here, sorry. I had just a random thought about Casper Ruud today because, of course, he would normally be in Estoril this week, but I wonder if he thought to himself about Bucharest or Marrakesh, or he just immediately thought, I'm not going to play either, whatever
There is
happens.
something. Do you know where he is this week?
Oh, I'm guessing he's in
Uh,
Monte Carlo prepping or not.
no. There is a big
Oh,
Muratoglu event.
is he doing the Moratoglu event? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe
So
cash
I
was the
think
reason then.
what's more of a question is like I'm 100% sure he never considered playing Bucharest or Marrakesh. What's more
Uh-huh.
of a question is if the money on the line would have been the same, does he play Estoril or does he play the event in Nîmes? I think it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I think I actually just thought because I didn't know he signed up for UTS, but even with the UTS, it's not quite as intense as a week long 250. You know,
But
with
that's
points on
good,
the line.
right?
Yeah,
I
exactly. So
mean,
I think
yeah.
he might just be thinking, do you know what? There was a moment towards the end of the French Open when I was struggling a bit physically, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just second guessing here. And he's just thinking maybe if I did a different tack, trying something different, you know, and UTS stroke week off might be that. So yeah, I just had a random thought on that one. I
Even
don't know if you
without
want
that,
to
right? I mean, it's not like he's defending a title. He would have been. It's not like he would have been defending a title in Estoril, and obviously with Barcelona, Monte
semi-final.
Carlo coming so much, yeah, semi-final, which is for a player in the top 10, it's not really that relevant. At least not yet, because Casper might be dropping points very, very quickly. But like, yeah, in Barcelona and Monte Carlo, he's got over 1,000. So yeah, I do subscribe to this theory that he actually probably would have played UTS anyway.
Okay, where is this? So I'm just slowly, very slowly loading the head-to-head. Oh, I see. It's just 1-0. They've only
It's
played
just
once.
one
You're
match,
right.
yeah. 6-4, seven
Yeah.
five, I think, in the final last year. Yeah.
Where do you think this match will be won and lost between Fucsovics and Navone?
I mean, it's tough to say. Fucsovics is such a an intelligent player, can use all the tools in his disposal so well with the slice and the forehand ball striking. But I don't know. I just have a good feeling about Navone tomorrow. I think he's kind of due a run because if you look at what he was doing in South America, 2 match points against Fonseca. Like that's hella unlucky in the quarters in Buenos Aires. If Navone wins that match, does he win the title? I think he probably does. He has a really good record against Coria, and then the final would have been against what? Oh, yes, Cerundolo. I guess that's a little tougher. But Fran, as we know, was pretty nervous in the final. Rio, he loses to Sebastian Baez, who's obviously the killer of that event. But the second round, that was so early, and then just
Yeah.
one little poor loss to Jumhur in Santiago. And I don't know, just anytime I watch Mariano Navone and clay, I'm just wow. I mean, all the angles he can use, and basically how he can just out rally anybody. Yeah, I think he's kind of due a 250 title on clay courts. I have a very good feeling about him this week and a very good feeling about him tomorrow. I don't know, just seems like a little bit of a class ahead for me over Fucsovics at the moment. That not to say that Marton, of course, didn't beat him in the final last year, and also obviously did pretty well at the event. I'm not really sure if there's anything specific about the court conditions that he could possibly like, and that's why he's so good there. I don't know. He just kind of seems like a guy who focuses on a few weeks every season the last few years, and that's when he's at his strongest. Like that's what it's been really. I think he really plays well with his back to the wall. So maybe once more he's going to do something like that. But I don't know. I think Navone has just been a little bit underperforming, but that's not because of his level, but due to some extra circumstances.
Yeah, right. I think I'm just leaning Navone to get some revenge as well. I think a combination of you talking me into it. Also, I think you're right, being a bit unlucky with the draw in Rio as well. So I think I'll lean that way too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.